Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm headed home from work today, and it's Monday afternoon. Pretty busy day at work. You know, it's Monday, so and we're off on Friday with Good Friday, so it's a busy week. It's a busy week. So just wanted to talk about, I had every year around my birthday, I don't know how long I've been doing this. I don't know, maybe the past probably, because there was the pandemic, obviously. So I know I wasn't doing it during the pandemic, during the beginning of the pandemic. So probably the last 3 years, last year and 2 years before that, every my birthday, when my birthday comes, I will go down to Atlantic City. I'm here in New Jersey, so Atlantic City is place where we go. It's down at the shore. And so I would just stay over. I usually don't just stay the night, because to me, anytime you are checking into a hotel, to me, unless you have no other choice, but it's kind of like a waste of money to just stay one night, because you can't check in until 4 o'clock. And then just making sure I can get over. You can't check in until 4 o'clock, and then you have to check out at 11. So you kind of miss that whole part of the day. But at least if you stay 2 nights, you're there overnight. But anyway, so when I go down to Atlantic City, and I go by myself, it's just my time for me, away from everything, work and everybody, and just myself. I mean, I've gone down there before with other people. I'm trying to think. I did go one year. I was dating someone. Was this my birthday? It might have been more during the summer. My birthday's in May, so it's coming up. And I was dating this guy. I'm trying to think. Was that around my birthday time? I don't know. I think it might have been another time. It might have been during the summer that we were dating, and I mean, it was early in our, relationship, if that's what you want to call it. And so we weren't staying together or anything overnight, nothing like that. But I told him, and he loved Atlantic City just like I do. And I told him if he wanted to drive down separately and meet up down there, we could do that. Because I was going down and I was going to stay overnight. If he wanted to get a room of his own and, we hang out for a couple of days, I was fine with that. But surely we were not staying together overnight. Again, it was very early on in our relationship. And so he came down. I'm totally getting off topic of what I was going to talk about, but anyway, I'll just say this little story real quick. He came down. We had a great time. He came down for the day, had a great time. We went to some of my favorite little spots. We went shopping. We went we ate. We went to eat. We went to my favorite buffet spot, and I think it was his too, or one of them, because there's a couple. And we just had a great time. We went on the boardwalk. It was summer. That was summer. Because I'm remembering we took pictures together, and it was summer. So Yeah, so that was a separate time. That was not my birthday time. But usually I go down for my birthday and I'll stay a couple of days and just, you know, chill out. Stay on the beach and just chill out. And so I went down last year. Sorry, the heat is, it's hot. Yeah, so I went down last year and the year before. Now last year was the first year, and I have a video from a year ago on my channel of a vlog that I did, I guess you would say, of me, you know, just hanging out in Atlantic City and the hotel I stayed at, and there was an issue with the room and all. I didn't stay at my normal hotel, which is the Tropicana. It's, you know, like my ideal hotel is the Borgata, but if I can't do the Borgata, I'm staying at the Tropicana. You know, I feel safe. I stay at the Havana. I don't know if it's called the Wing or Inn or whatever, the Havana section. And yeah, I know it like the back of my hand, so I feel safe. The garage is right there in the same building, or, you know, under the same roof, so you don't have to travel far to get to your room from that section. But anyway, so I was planning on going this year. Now I'm coming off of this big trip to Paris, so I'm like, financially, because even though it's local, like, you know, Atlantic City is, you know, what, a couple hours from me, it's still considered local. I'm just like, do I want to stay overnight? And again, I don't like staying just one night. I would, you know, try to stay for 2 nights. Do I want to put out that money to stay 2 nights? Or do I just want to go down for the day? Like, do a day trip. You know what I mean? Save myself some money. I don't know. I've been contemplating that back and forth. I'm like, you know, it's my vacation. You know, it would be great to just get away and hang out. I usually go shopping. There's a lot of outlets down there. And then, like I said, honestly, one of the biggest things I love about Atlantic City is the food. That's why I go. Wow, my voice is like, you can hear, like, I'm dehydrated again. I need some water. But yeah, I go for the food, and they have a great soul food restaurant down there. It's called Kelsey's, and it's in my video. I don't know that I filmed in the restaurant when I went last year. But I know, I think I filmed like briefly while I was online, because there's a little line outside and all. It's, you know, a lot of people go to Kelsey's, but they have great food. And I think last year they had because it was on Mother's Day that I was there. It was a Sunday, and it was on Mother's Day, and so they had a Mother's Day brunch, which I was, you know, at first I was worried about even getting in, but I got in. You know, everything is about just get there early. You know, you get there early enough, you'll get in. So I got there early, I got in, and I had a great time. I don't know, this guy on his motorcycle behind me, like, I don't get these people. But anyway, so yeah, so Kelsey's is a spot that I you know, if I can. Now, the one thing about Atlantic City and some of the places, you gotta check in advance. You gotta check you know, the hours of some of the places, because they may not be open on the days that you want to go. Like I remember last year, I also like going to the Borgata all you can eat buffet. And I think I tried to go there not on that Sunday, but on that following Monday, because I stay for 3 days. Or last year I stayed for 3 days. And so that Monday, I feel like on that Monday, I tried to go to the buffet thinking they were open every day of the week, and they weren't. And I was really disappointed. I was like, what? Like, this is a part of my vacation. So you do have to check in advance what days they're open, you know, so you can plan it all out. Yeah, so I'm just I don't, like I said, I'm just like, again, I came off this big trip, you know, those credit cards are just hitting. And I'm just like, do I want to spend, you know, and it's not going to be that much. It's Atlantic City. I mean, the most I'll be spending is on my hotel room. But then, of course, I'll be spending on food, you know. But the hotel stay, I mean, I you know, I booked a room like months ago just to get it booked. And then I canceled it because I was like, I had my trip to Paris coming up, and I'm like, and you know, you always do have to put down a deposit. So I was like, nah, I could use that money. So I canceled my rooms, but the rooms are still available, the same, you know, like type of rooms, and it's about the same amount. And then they have resort fees that are so high. It's like, you know, almost like paying for the room. And now, you know, I've looked around to see if there's any, you know, like hotel rooms for less, you know, less than, because it's pretty much, no matter, you know, from what I've seen, it's pretty much $100 a night, you know, at the hotels I'm looking at. I'm not looking at like off, what do they call, like sub hotels, you know. It's gonna be a quality hotel, like a oh my god, why can't I talk? It's gonna be a Tropicana, because again, I like the Tropicana. It's right off the boardwalk. You can take the little trolley down the boardwalk and drop you off right back at the boardwalk, you know. And I'm very comfortable. I feel safe going by myself. I don't want to go to a, you know, a lower, like price-wise hotel that might not be as safe. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm back and forth. I mean, it's not that I, you know, don't have the money per se. I mean, I don't have the money right this second. You know, I could put it on, you know, a credit card or whatever. But do I want to do that? That's the question. Do I want to do that? Wow. I didn't know they were building a apartment complex right here. Yeah, but do I want to do that? And you know, but it is my birthday, and I do like to celebrate my birthday. Like, even if it's just going to Atlantic City and just, you know, treat myself to a nice little buffet, you know. Like, that's, you know, that's what I like to do. Like, you know, I'm simple, and I'm very, like, you know, I'm simple for the most part. But anyway, what you know, I'm just, you know, I just can't decide whether I want to stay a couple of days or just go down for the day.